Welcome back everybody. Today we'll be doing a top 5 list of Sith who need to get their own movie. We've had plenty of movies where we follow the good guys, and sure, Revenge of the Sith and The Empire Strikes Back ended with the bad guys coming out on top, but the focus was still on the good guys fighting the good fight. So let's flip it. Let's shift the focus on the bad guys and have some movies where you know people gonna die. Number 5. Exar Kun. Exar Kun was a human male discovered as a Force-sensitive and taken by the Jedi Order to be trained several millennia before the Battle of Yavin. Apprenticed under venerable Krevaki Jedi Master Vodo Syosk Bass, Kun worked extremely hard to become a great Jedi, but he was prideful and curious to learn forbidden Sith knowledge. Kun learned of a previous Jedi who had become a Sith Lord, Freedon Nad, and decided to pursue Freedon Nad's burial site to learn more. There he conversed with Nad's spirit, who sent him on a mission to travel to Korriban. Arriving at the Valley of the Dark Lords, Kun was tricked by Freedon Nad and severely injured. Freedon Nad offered to save him, but only if he surrendered to the dark side. Kun accepted, not thinking much of it, still considering himself to be a Jedi, but in fact, Exar Kun had become a Dark Lord. Exar Kun would travel to Yavin 4 to continue Freedon Nad's research. He would lift Naga Sado's curse on Yavin 4 and destroy Freedon Nad's spirit to finally be rid of him. He would also hunt down 2 of his other students to quell any attempt at revenge. He returned to the Jedi, where he would entice other students to follow him with his display of power. He embedded his new students with dark powers, creating his Brotherhood of the Sith, and ordered them to find and murder their former Jedi Masters. He would go on to kill the Supreme Chancellor Sidrona in the Senate, where he would bump into his former master Vodo Syosk Bass. While at first hesitant, he nevertheless killed him during their duel. He would go on to throw the galaxy into war as he continued to grow in power and influence, until he was surrounded by all the power the Jedi Order could muster on his base on Yavin 4. Realizing he was doomed, he began a ritual, sacrificing thousands of his followers to preserve his spirit. The ritual was a success of sorts. He had succeeded, but he was trapped in the confines of his temple. 4,000 years after Exar Kun's death, the Rebel Alliance would use some of his temples on Yavin 4 as their base. And even though Kun would continue to be a menace from beyond the grave, I'll end it there, because those stories would not line up with the new canon as far as we know anyway. I've always had the vision of a movie about Exar Kun being similar to Bram Stoker's Dracula for some reason. Exar Kun spreading his influence even in death, like vampirism, a powerful Sith, a fallen Jedi succumbing to forbidden fruit, with betrayal, massive battles, and the search for eternal life ending in eternal damnation. Number 4. A Darth Vader movie. We all know how Anakin became Vader, and how Luke ended up saving his father. But how cool would it be having a movie about Vader's hunt of the last remaining Jedi after Order 66? His realization that his turn to the dark side did not save Padme, the very reason he accepted Palpatine's offer in the first place. A scene where he visits Padme's grave, while he forces her planet of Naboo to bend the knee. Did he really fully and loyally serve Palpatine all that time? Or did he have his own plans in the works? An apprentice perhaps? Galen Marek? Starkiller anyone? Without his suit, Vader was a cripple, but a shell of what he used to be. Surely he held some animosity towards Sidious. So much was promised, but so little delivered. And sure, he blamed Obi-Wan and the Jedi Order for his circumstance, but deep down inside, he must have known the true cause for his misery. How did he cope with that? Did it feed his anger and drive him to commit even more atrocities? We know he did consider overthrowing the Emperor if Luke joined him, but then he seemed utterly defeated here.
Don't know the power of the dark side. I must obey my master. It is too late for me, son.
A Darth Vader movie could give us another look at Anakin's tragedy, the monster he had become, how far he was gone, and how far Luke managed to bring him back, which was a hell of an accomplishment. Number 3.
Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
One of the most popular Sith and a leading candidate for Snoke's identity by a large number of the fan base, Darth Sidious's master, member of the intergalactic banking clan, and what many overlook, a scientist. Darth Plagueis the Wise shifted focus from Sith mysticism to the scientific method, hence we get the popular midichlorians instead of invisible force magic. This was a guy who could bring people back from the dead. He had the power that just about every Sith since time immemorial had been striving to find. It's even suggested he, along with Sidious's help, created Anakin. The guy willed a prophecy into existence, and just like the Darth Plagueis book, the movie could also share focus with a young Palpatine being tutored by Plagueis. How they pulled the strings behind the scenes and brought about the downfall of the Jedi Order, fulfilling the very goal the Rule of Two had been set in place for. The culmination of 1,000 years of work, the Sith's ultimate revenge. Number 2. Darth Revan. One of the most popular characters from just about everybody's favorite era, Darth Revan from the Old Republic. Now, we might end up getting a Knights of the Old Republic live action TV series, and what better way to get things started than with the tale of Darth Revan. Sith infighting, Jedi civil war, Star Forges, amnesia due to memory wipes, shifting loyalties, Mandalorian wars, tragedy, drama, what's not to like here? The sheer amount of story they could tell here is vast and complex, and that's why I think a movie should kick off a TV series. There's just too much to leave anything out. And let's not forget Darth Malak, who would also share the screen with Revan, and who's no slouch himself. Personally, I would like Revan to tie in with the Knights of Ren somehow, or the presence Palpatine felt beyond the unknown regions. Disney's a business, and they want money, right? So this should be a no-brainer. And number 1, Darth Bane. The founder of the Sith Rule of Two. It would be his plan and philosophy that would bring the Jedi to the verge of extinction. 2 there will be, a master to embody the power and an apprentice to crave it. His philosophy would lead to the Sith growing more cunning and powerful through evolution. The powerful would prosper and those who weren't up to the task would be weeded out. I've always imagined the movie about Darth Bane to be like Conan the Barbarian, a brute of a man, taken in by the Sith Brotherhood, taught to fight, who escaped his shackles and forged his own destiny. Bane single-handedly destroyed the Brotherhood of Darkness, realizing that the Sith were getting nowhere because of all the infighting. They kept repeating all the same mistakes over and over. He took a young orphan girl as his apprentice named Zana, so the dynamics of Bane teaching her to be the predator and not the prey would be interesting in itself. And just because Bane was physically imposing, this doesn't mean he wasn't intelligent. He searched for any Sith artifacts he could find, learning from the greatest Sith Lords through their Sith holocrons. He set the groundwork for his plan that Plagueis and Sidious would finalize, and he even learned the ability of essence transfer. Some say, as he was struck down by his apprentice, he succeeded in transferring himself into her mind, and has done so again and again down the ages, living as the ultimate parasite in symbiosis with each and every Sith Lord for close to a millennia. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the list. Remember, it's a list of 5 Sith I think should get their own movies, not one of who's the most powerful and so on. I think these 5 Sith Lords would make interesting stories, and of course much of it isn't canon anymore and could be done differently. Do you have your own Sith you would like to see on the big screen, in his or her own tale? Leave your thoughts down below, and as always, thanks for watching and supporting the channel. Don't forget to like, share, sub and all that good stuff. And until next time, see yas.
Your arrogance blinds you, Master Yoda. Now you will experience the full power of the dark side.